Did you know that rock art is the earliest form of art in Africa? And as we know from evolutionary science, that the modern Homo sapien actually came from Africa. We have different ways of crafting things in this generation. So across the centuries, we've been able to craft from wood, from beads, from metal, plastic, and so much more. But as an African, have you sat back and thought about handcrafting your own life? That is what we are talking about today on The Well of Inspiration. In this episode of The Well of Inspiration, it's all about handcrafting your own life. Hi, and welcome to a Cradle of Life production of The Well of Inspiration. With me is Wellington Jambo.
Hi, Dawn. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You need to start teaching me some Swahili now, okay?
Yes, I really need to teach you Swahili. I'll send you a few lessons on the side. No worries. How are you doing?
Fantastic. That'll be good. I'm doing very well, Dawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I absolutely love our subject for this week, handcrafting your own life. Wellington, let's dive straight into today's episode.
Absolutely. Okay, so you know what? To those of you who love cars, you will understand that some of the most expensive cars you can buy in the world today, when you get closer to how they are made, they pride themselves to having had most of the times the interior handmade. In fact, in some cases, when you go looking around, you will actually see that inside the car, they will have an inscription that says handcrafted interior, which basically means that they assign a certain value to the fact that the hand of a human being was with someone who are very creative and customized this interior to this particular car and paid special attention to the little details that make the car so unique. That's why they run around saying it's handcrafted, therefore the price is a little bit higher than normal. You never find this in cheap cars or in cheap commodities. You find this in the very expensive, very luxurious kind of products. When I was looking around for this, I discovered that it's not only cars that get this kind of treatment. I realized there are shoes that are handcrafted and you can't buy them. There are many different things, fragrances, even clothes. When a suit is handcrafted, the price point is totally different from something that is made using the mass market model where it's just gone through the system. Now, thinking about this, I say to myself, if the world assigns so much value to the fact that something has been handcrafted, how much more value can we have as individuals if we embrace the concept of actually handcrafting our own lives? Meaning to say, we pay special attention to the little details that make us unique, the little details that make us bring even better value to the world, the little details that make us the people that we are without following what other people are doing. When we do that, we become even more valuable to the society, to the economy, even to our own families, because we've taken time to focus on our lives and literally handcraft our lives.
I love this. When we pay special attention to the little different things that make us unique, that we can put together and make something more out of, we actually give value not just to ourselves, but to everyone around us, the society, your job, your family. It's absolutely fantastic. Wellington, let us know more about this.
You know what? The underlying factor among many of these expensive things is that element of handcrafting. Now, my question to you is, are you aware of the value that you can bring to the world if you simply took the time to handcraft your life? To position yourself deliberately in the places where you are supposed to be in order for you to make the difference that only you can make? Are you taking the time to give yourself the necessary skills and attributes that will enhance your value so that you can come to the marketplace with something that nobody has ever seen before? Even if they've seen it before, they've never seen it done this way before, because now you've taken all the training, all the capabilities you have carefully worked on over many years to bring them to a particular situation. And once you do that, you then become that person, that unique person who brings a unique product, a unique service, and unique value to the marketplace.
Fantastic, Wellington. Absolutely love this.
So how do we do this, Don? I mean, I'm just thinking, okay, so I'm saying, okay, handcraft your life and so on and so on. It's nice and easy to say, handcraft your life, handcraft your life. But how do we do it? Now, I was looking and I saw that, on our continent of Africa, there's so much handcrafting that goes on. So much. And when you look around, the products that we bring out of the motherland are so beautiful and so unique, so much that they are celebrated all over the world. Look at our works of art. Look at our, beads and the slippers, the designs we create in our own spaces. Look at the artifacts that our artisans make, and they go there displayed in museums all over the world. It's because we've taken the time to handcraft. But what can we do to be able to handcraft our lives? I've got a suggestion for you. And the first thing I want to recommend is that you consider improving your awareness. You see, without awareness, you don't know what is possible. You don't know what you have, and you don't know what the world is looking for. But when you pay attention and you're able to at least look deep inside yourself to see what it is you are good at, what it is that you can do differently from other people, what it is you are doing now that you can do better. When you come to that level of awareness, then you know what you need to do to improve yourself. In other words, you then know what strings to touch, what needle to bring in, what kind of leather to work with to handcraft your life to the place where you want it to be. Improve your awareness.
I love when you talk about improving your awareness. And I think this is something that just goes back to us as individuals, taking the time as one person to look into yourself and say, these are the things over the years that I've noticed I'm capable of doing, that I'm good at. But if I worked more on those things, I could actually improve it and become much better in that craft, whatever it may be. It could be somebody who is good in business. You could be good in finance. You could be good in different fields as architecture, those different things. Find those little elements that come together, be aware of those elements and put them together.
So when it comes to improving your awareness, it also comes down to learning. What learning does is learning presents a level of difficulty and challenge that becomes the seed for us to grow and develop. So if you want to handcraft your life, learn to discover new things that your world, the area that you want to be focused in, can bring to you. And once you learn those things, your growth is guaranteed because the seed is planted by the learning you've embraced for yourself. The next thing to remember is to also use your imagination. When you want to do something, most of the times the real case is that you are somewhere, you want to go somewhere, you want to be someone, but you actually haven't been there. So for you to actually get there, you have to first see it in your mindset and then work so that you can get there. The man who came up with Carl Benz is famous for being the one who moved us from the horse carriages to the automobile as we know it today. When you read the story, this whole thing started out in his mind when he was thinking, how can we have a carrier that will take us from one place to another, but never have to need these horses? Through that process of imagining a different world, a different life, different circumstances, he was able to usher in the automobile, the car as we know it today. And now we enjoy the luxury of it. But do we actually take time to recognize that for us to be there, to be where we are now, it started with somebody else's imagination? And therefore, we can also do the same thing, starting by imagining our lives in a better place. And then working the craft, enjoying the process, and doing the work necessary for us to become who we want to become.
I love this, Wellington, and the way you put the imagination aspect into play. I feel that imagination is key to creativity. It allows you to explore things that you're not exploring as yet, as an individual, or doing things as yet. You imagine what you want to do and you can actually put it into play. Whatever you imagine, you can actually put out there and create something of greatness with it.
Absolutely. And when we talk about this, I always remind people to make sure they remember to oil the engine. Because you see, guys, when we are moving through life, there's a part of us that drives what we do. That is our well-being as individuals. And if we are going to be successful in handcrafting our lives, we've got to remember to take care of the engine. When I think of the engine of human beings, I think of in terms of the dimensions that make up our lives, our complete lives. And 4 of them are very important in my opinion. The first one being your mindset. What are you doing in your mindset? What are you doing to improve the way you see things, to improve your possibility belief, so that you know that whatever you are seeing in your mind is actually possible, and then you get down to the craft and do what is necessary. The second one is your health and your wellness. Are you looking after yourself enough to give yourself the energy, the strength for you to be able to sit down and craft your life the way it's supposed to be crafted? The third thing is your emotional quotient. You know what, my friends? Sometimes we lose motivation, we lose the drive to live and do what we need to do simply because our emotions are not in the right place. That is why mental health is taking center stage nowadays, in order for us to learn to harness our emotions, control ourselves, become peaceful with the challenges that we have to go through, and then do the work to improve the way we see the world. That's emotional wellness. And the last thing, which is very important, is the spiritual dimension. We all know there's a higher power. Whichever power you believe it is, there's a higher power out there that makes things the way that they are. Do you believe in the higher power? What is your heart telling you about what you need to do? And do you actually recognize that you are being driven by power that comes from the universe, that comes from a world that is created to make lives good for us?
Fantastic. All this detail, I hope our viewers are soaking it up in. We'll give you a moment to do just that, to soak it all up, and we'll be back in just a moment with the Well of Inspiration. Welcome back to this episode of The Well of Inspiration. It's all about handcrafting your own life. Now, Wellington has given different examples of handcrafting your own life. He says, pay special attention to the details, the little details that you can put in place that can actually help you craft your own handcraft, your own life. Now, he's asked the question, how do we do this? Which is something I'm sure our viewers, you are asking. Now, in case you just missed the beginning of this episode, he says, consider improving your awareness. Now, this is also allowing yourself to learn. He also said, use your imagination. And when he says imagination, he asks you to, just think about all the things that you'd want to do and then put them all into play. And while he was talking about using your imagination, he actually said, make sure to oil your engine. And when we talk about engines and people, Wellington has given us 4 things that are very vital to our engines as human beings. 1, health and wellness. 2 is your emotional caution, your mental health. Are you paying attention to that? The next one is your spiritual dimension, as well as your mindset. So those are the 4 things that you need to really think about when you are actually oiling this engine that is in you as a human. Wellington, back to you.
Thank you so much, Donna. I like the way you summarized everything in a few words. They're very, very powerful. Now, the final thing that I think we actually need to embrace as the one element that supersedes everything else, it is the fact of us taking responsibility. If you are going to handcraft your life, it is you who's going to do it and nobody else. And how do you do that? By becoming the CEO of your own life, the chief executive of your own life, the one who carries the ultimate responsibility, the one who carries the vision, the one who helps other people to believe and support them in the vision that they carry. You have to become the CEO of your own life. And whenever I say this, I go back into the business world and I think, let's ask ourselves the question, Mr. CEO, Miss CEO, how is your business doing? How are your finances doing? How are your sales doing? What's the vision that you carry for your business? Where do you see the business in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? What new products are you bringing to the market? What difference are you making to the society that we live in? Where are you investing your resources in? What returns are you getting from your investment? Become the CEO. Have these conversations with yourself. Answer the questions honestly, and you will begin to make the necessary progress as you handcraft your life and design everything that you want your life to look like, to be like, and you can have whatever you choose to have on the basis of the work that you're doing now, paying attention to smaller details and taking responsibility just like any CEO would do for their company.
Wellington, this is absolutely powerful and I absolutely love it. Handcrafting your own life, putting things at the back of your mind and saying, whatever happened to me in the past happened to me in the past. What can I do now? How can I put things into place by taking responsibility of all the things that are happening around me? Wellington, before we wrap it up, any final words on today's episode?
You know what? I just want to say that we have the opportunity, by being alive every single day, we've got the opportunity to make the difference that we need in our lives. If you're not where you want to be, my friend, take responsibility today and begin to handcraft your life. Look for the resources, look for the people, work on your internal structures, get some education, learn some skill, and begin the journey towards becoming the best version of your life. After all, you are the one who can only handcraft.
Fantastic. For our viewers who are watching today, please feel free to leave a comment at the bottom of our video. If you want to, just give us your inspirational stories, whatever you have done in your life, however you've done it, handcrafted your own life, and you've been successful, please let us know those success stories. We would love to hear from you. If you're somebody who's finding it difficult to handcraft your own life, Wellington is here. The Well of Inspiration is here. And that's why we are doing these episodes, to allow you the insight that you might actually need for you to take your life and your business to the next level of success. Don't forget to visit the Well of Inspiration website. It's www.wellofinspiration.com. Don't forget to visit the Cradle of Life as well. That is www.thecradleoflife.co. Let us know how we can help you. Let us know of your success stories, and let us know if this video can actually or has actually been able to impact different people. Share it. Share this information so that more people can be touched by the messages from Wellington. Wellington, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board as usual.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Have yourself a pleasant week ahead and many, many blessings.
And to you too, many, many blessings. Till next time.
Thank you.